Let's bring in retired U.S. Army Colonel Joe Buccino, who recently served as Communications Director for U.S. Central Command. I'm curious, Joe, your thoughts on the motivations behind the Israeli attacks, as we understand it. Israeli attacks on Iran's infrastructure, up till now, oil infrastructure. Up till now, those had pretty much been left alone. You would think that after the Ayatollahs are gone, if indeed that happens, that the Iranian people are going to need the money from oil sales to try to rebuild their country. So why destroy that infrastructure?
Well, so far the initial objectives here have been met. The U.S. and Israel Defense Forces have destroyed the Navy. There's effectively no Navy for Iran. They've attrited the ballistic missile capability by 90%, drones by 80%. They've devastated two echelons of leadership, both in the civilian, the religious leadership with the mullahs and with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So this is the next phase, squeezing out the economy, the energy, and also the drone production facilities of Iran, so they effectively cannot function as any form of governance.
Well, but if you're taking out the oil facilities, you're taking out the income for the people of Iran, who are supposed to be the beneficiaries of what we're doing there, aren't you?
Well, first of all, the people there, the Iranian currency is basically worth nothing. It's basically worth a blank piece of paper prior to this. So now you're squeezing out the government's ability to function, the government's ability to continue to hide the mullahs. You know, this regime, the clerical portion of the regime, it's wide, it's deep. They've got secession plan on top of secession plan. They're spread out. They're underground. And so how do you squeeze out that clerical regime? You do that through the energy infrastructure, and you do that through their ability to produce these low-cost, attritable drones and ballistic missiles.
The Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi was on NBC for an interview this morning. He said that Iran is maintaining a strategic partnership with Russia. Now, he didn't go into a lot of detail on that, but it's widely thought that the Russians are helping Iran provide targeting information on U.S. forces and the like. Can you comment on that? Is that likely?
Well, it's continuing. This goes back about 2.5 years. Russia has been assisting the regime with targeting for quite some time here, really for more than 2 years, and that continues. It's not of great effect just because Iran no longer has the means of production or the ballistic missile capability to hold the United States and our bases in the Gulf states or Israel at risk. So there's not much productivity coming out of that partnership, but this is not a new thing. This is something that goes back 2 years. You know, if you remember, Iran sent the Shahed 136 drones, the Shahed drones, into Russia to fire against Ukraine, and now this is a reciprocal support to the regime.
So Ukraine is going to be one of the beneficiaries of these attacks, because if we are going after the Shahed drone factories in Iran, they're not going to be able to send them to Russia anymore for launching against Ukraine.
That's right. And also what you've seen here, John, is you've seen the Gulf states, some of the most powerful Gulf states. You got UAE, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, now partnered with Ukraine, and the entire Gulf Coordination Council, which has condemned Ukraine, partnered with Ukraine, and all that coalition partnering with Israel. And so this is kind of a stunning development here that Iran did not foresee. It's really backfired on Iran. It's really been a miscalculation to target the Gulf states. And so you're seeing this coalition that is now squeezing out Iran. Iran is alone in the world other than its support from Russia and some support from China.
And with Russia tied down as they are in Ukraine, they can't offer a lot of support as well. That's retired right. U.S. Army Colonel Joe Buccino. Joe, thank you.
Thanks, John.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.